Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Eliezer Melamed, Shlita. Here we are on Thursday, a snowy Thursday here in the Northeast. Hope everyone's staying safe out there. And we continue our learning, but please continue davening for Chaylei Tzva Gana Yisrael, for Shleim Alachol Pitzuei Yisrael, safe return of all of our hostages. And we learn Le'ilei Nishmat Seren Daniel Shimon Rav Dr. Moshe Shemekam Damo. The next chapter, Kavanah v'Amiskashim l'Chavein. Tefillah hi avoda shebelev. Lefichach ikra tolei b'Kavanah. So tefillah is called avoda. It's duty of the heart, but avoda meaning hard work, and it is hard work. And therefore, the main aspect of tefillah depends on one's intent. V'kach hayosem chasidim ad shemaisa shahi misbodedim mechavdim b'tfilasam ad shahi magim lehispashtus hagashmios lehiskavrus koach hasichli ad shahi magim karev l'malas hanevua. So quoting from the Shulchan Aruch, it says that the pious people of old and people of action, they would involve themselves in self-reflection, and they would have intention in their tefillah until they would really reach a certain level, and they would overcome sort of this mental state, and they would really almost reach the level of nevuah, of prophecy. And if an outside extraneous thought comes to you during davening, you should be quiet. Just stay silent until the thought goes away. Easier said than done, I know. Shtei kavanas yeshnam b'tefillah. There are two intents one has to have during davening. Ha'achas klalit. The first is of a general nature. Sheichavena mispala shu omed lifnei melech malchem malachim v'ismalei b'yira v'ahava. The general sense, one has to understand and know that you're standing in front of the King of all kings, and you should be filled with fear and with love. Vashnia pratis, and on a more particular level, you have to have intent and in your heart, understanding and knowing what it is that you're saying with your mouth. That people are different in nature one from another. Yesh shekal lahem hisrakez. For some people, it's very easy to concentrate. For some people, saying the same words day in and day out is very easy, and to have an understanding and to have the words flow and to have meaning. And some people have difficulty concentrating. And when we're talking about words that you're familiar with, perhaps we'll use the term rote, that it actually becomes more difficult to concentrate, more difficult to have kavanah. And even when they try to have kavanah, you try to have the proper intent and concentration, still your mind wanders and you go from topic to topic in your head. Tell me this doesn't happen to you, that you have every intention of saying the words in Shemona Esrei. You're saying Birchas Avos, you're saying every single word, you're saying it properly, and the next thing you know, you find yourself in Slach Lanu, you're in the middle of Shemona Esrei. And then you try to concentrate for another bracha and a half, and then your mind wanders again, and next thing you know, you're bowing down and saying modim. So I'll just share with you the insight that I've always had on this, the way I've understood, just trying to explain this experience to people. So sometimes, let's say, if you've driven when you're tired, which is not recommended, obviously, it's not necessarily safe, but sometimes you're driving somewhere and you're tired, and you get your destination, and you say, I know that I left, and I know that I've arrived where I'm supposed to, but I have no recollection of what happened in between. And I'm sure this is something that everyone can relate to. So this is often the experience that people have in Shemona Esrei is, I know I started, I bowed, I said every single word, and I bowed again, and I bowed again, and I took 3 steps back, but I have no idea what happened in between because sometimes our mind just goes to other places. Ukfar hayu ha'amaroim, and already from the period of the Amaram, they've already addressed this issue of having difficulty in focusing in Tefillah. Kamuvul b'Yerushalmi, the Jerusalem Talmud in Brachos in the 2nd chapter, Halacha Gimel. She'amar Rav Chia al-Asmar, Rav Chia used to say about himself, Shemei olam lo hitzlich lechavein b'chol ha'tefillah, that he was never able to successfully have kavanah in all of his davening. Upam keshenis lisrakez b'chol ha'tefillah, hischil laharher b'emtzi asa. At one time, when he tried so hard to concentrate on every single word of davening, he, in the middle, began to have his mind wander. And he was thinking, who's more important in front of the king? This important officer or just a nobody? Ushmul Amar, ani manisi afrachim b'tefillah. And Shmuel used to say that I would count, different things during davening. Rebbe Bon Bar Chia Amar, ani manisi b'tefillah es hashuras habinyan. Rebbe Bon Bar Chia says that I would count, let's say, the bricks in the wall. Reb Masni Amar, ani machzik tova l'roshi. Shagam kasheneni sam lev l'mashani Omer hiyadem atzma l'char b'modim. He says, and at least I give thanks to my own head that even when I'm not paying attention to what I'm saying, at least I know, my body knows that I have to bow down and modim. So even from the greatest of the sages found in the Talmud, in the Jerusalem Talmud, and great Talmidei Chachamim, we learn that they had difficulty concentrating from the beginning until the end. And even if a person makes every effort to have the most possible concentration, but don't let it put you down, don't let it bring you down when you realize that you can't have the proper kavanah. Even if you were daydreaming the whole time, don't give up hope, but rather you should have kavanah with what is left in front of you. So this is a very real issue that affects every single person. So don't think that if it affects you that you're less than, because you see that some of the greatest sages in the Talmud. And today we have a further challenge, especially with all of our devices that we carry with us. And if, let's say, your device is in your pocket, or if it's on silent, then maybe your watch is going off that's connected to your device, or whatever it is, or somebody's talking, or you're looking outside the window, all these different types of distractions that are there certainly is a very, very real problem for us to deal with. So we'll see more of this as we go on. But just to let you know, don't despair, but please continue davening for Chayalei Tzvah Israel, for Shalom Chol Petzua Israel, safe return of our hostages. Nishmat, Daniel Shimon, Rav Damo. Thank you for concentrating with us today, even if you weren't listening, but we know that you were. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.